Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Distant Stars. In our Dynastic Divinity series, we have just finally conquered, well, we have had the Vana system for a while, but we conquered the aliens in the Vana system, and we have 36 minerals per turn to harvest. We already have a construction ship on the way to get that taken care of, and as a matter of fact, I might even send another one just to kind of help with that. Let's see if there's one that's relatively close. Yeah, you know what? If you can get there somewhat quickly, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to give a few new orders to these units. We're going to build that one, because it's going to take long enough that you should be able to get to those. Meanwhile, the one in Sapir will come here to these two, and we'll get them done a little bit faster. And then we're going to have a really, really nice mineral income. Let's take a look at what else we have going on, because we have a lot of influence to spend, and not a lot of time to spend it, because we are still trying to expand pretty rapidly in a couple of directions. Mainly, we want the Rimmic system as soon as possible, so I'm going to go ahead and give the order to build this starbase. We also have a few over here that we want to build. We want to get that system and that system. This is one colonizable world. Oh, we're actually out of minerals. We won't be for long, but I'll go ahead and send the construction ship that way. But we're going to have to do some terraforming before too long. Speaking of terraforming, we need energy for terraforming, and we have lots of energy at the moment. I've got all of my energy-related edicts going, which is good to see. I've got a pretty decent food surplus. Before too long, I will probably change my food stockpile. A couple of things that I want to rectify before we unpause at the beginning of this episode. First of all, we noticed during the combat in the Vana system that some, not all, but some of the ships did not actually have all of the current upgrades. And actually the way to see more straightforwardly, usually, which ships aren't fully upgraded. Actually, this might have resolved itself, because I think we did just finish an antimatter research. Let's have a quick look at this. What did we just finish? You know, that might have resolved itself, because typically when you are looking for, if you notice that, oh man, I don't think all of my ships are fully upgraded, just look for the ones that's low on power. And that's generally where you can see an opportunity to more fully upgrade your ships. I'm still going to check just to make sure, because we did definitely see some outdated weaponry in that battle. And I'd prefer not to see that again. Let's see what else we've got. The Task Force Marasma. I think we've already fully built them up. I just want to double check. First time recording in a few days. Home from the Labor Day weekend. Hope everyone had a nice holiday, if you celebrated it in the U.S. If you're not in the U.S., hope you had a nice weekend. And that it was relaxing. You got to spend time with family, because that's generally what a lot of us were doing. Family and or loved ones. Let's see. I think we're good here. I might... Yeah, actually... Yeah. All right, so command limit, we have a little bit more room, but I don't want to change the proportion of ships here right now. So that's good. And then one other thing that I wanted to fix, I think... what was it? Was there something else? Oh, it wasn't something I wanted to fix. It was just something I wanted to say. A few people have asked me, are you going to uplift your primitives and get a vassal that way? Yes, I'm going to, but right now, I'm actually getting a pretty decent amount of society research from them. Well, it's 8 society research, which is not a huge bump, but when I'm only making 78, that represents, you know, close to 10% of my society research just because I'm researching them. Maybe once I'm over 100 society research and I start to get maybe towards 120, and it's not as much of a big deal to get rid of this observation post and go ahead and uplift these primitives, I probably will, because I want that vassal. But I just wanted to explain maybe why I wasn't doing that just yet. Let's take a quick look at terraforming costs, just to remind me. Okay, 2,000. We're going to be close to that pretty soon. Let's go up to speed. Well, actually, let's not. Well, yes, let's, because we need minerals. Just trying to balance my my actions here, given that we are still trying to stay ahead of the curve with our, somewhat violent neighbors.
Complete.
The Boca Sharon Covenant has actually broken their non-aggression pact. Really? What did we do to you? Is it because of the growing border friction? I guess I can understand that. Also, that reminds me, how is our desert world doing with migration? Not too great. Yeah. I mean, we have land clearance. Definitely have that ability, but again, it costs a lot of energy and influence right now, and haven't wanted to use that just yet. And I'm going to keep from using that because we still need to expand more rapidly. A few people have been asking me, hey, why haven't you used that ability in the comments? Well, that's why. I've been focusing on using my influence to get these systems, especially this area here, before anyone else did. So that's where my focus is at the moment. I think I might have enough to go ahead and give this. Yep, there we go. Get it done. Well, let's go up to speed 3 and see how things go for a bit. What do we got? Borders opened. The Favarian Alliance of Domains has opened their borders to us. How very kind of you. We never closed ours to them, so we will simply say cool beans. Let's take a look around and see what we might need to do here. Hey, hang on. Pause. What's this? We've got a fully grown pop here. We are going to be establishing more colonies soon, but you know what? I would rather... We have the visitor center now, and I need to start building those. So let's put you on a blank tile and put you right there. And where else could a visitor center go? I mean, eventually I can probably remove some of these hydroponics farms and put a visitor center down instead, so we get the additional unity per month. Because that stuff comes in really handy. Throne of Death. We will have a Betharian power plant there, but not just yet. So why don't we go ahead and get a mining network set up here. Happiness is starting to go up on Throne of Death despite everything, I think just because the Empire's doing pretty damn well so far.
Construction complete.
Actually, is it because of habitability upgrades? I'm guessing that's it. 45%. It might be because of recent migrations. What's your deal? Harmony traditions finished. Okay, it's because of the Plague Memorial. That's helping. So that's that building right there after the plague that occurred on Throne of Death. But also, a lot of these pops belong to one of our more influential factions that happens to be, well, quite happy at the moment. So let's...
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Have they? All right, let's let some minerals pour in for a second. Encounter in Iram. Hold that thought. We have encountered some form of alien vessels in the Iram system. What do we have? Oh, it's a enclave. Cool. So let's investigate Iram. I should have known that because they still... It doesn't say Iram aliens when it is definitely an enclave, like a trader or the curators or something like that. It'll just say investigate Iram. Speaking of that, can you aid us in our research? We need 2,000 to do that. Getting close. We'll be able to buy that soon. And we also have the... Where's the Riggin Commerce Exchange? They have a very good opinion, or the Zuracorp has a very good opinion of us, so we can probably go ahead and get some sushi. Oh, nope, just kidding. Can't do that. Not just yet. Let's go ahead, though, and... Didn't mean to do that. Let's... Still want to talk to him. Let's end the resource trade deal, which is giving up a few minerals for a little bit of extra energy. And I still want to do that because I mean, that's a little bit imbalanced, and it helps us gain some reputation with these guys. But now I want to do it with a Riggin Commerce Exchange. Let's trade for energy credits. Again, lowest possible amount. And let's see what we got here. Star Fortress has been researched. Good. So we can start upgrading to those before long. Plasma Thruster, very tempting. Flak Battery, also very tempting. We've got some cheaper techs we need to get out of the way, though. Let's go ahead and go for carrier operations so that we can have fighters flying around on the battlefield if need be. And yes, I will upgrade the Hollow Temple to one of the new awesome spiritual buildings. Forget what it's called.
Project complete.
Oh, it's the Artisan Troop. Excellent. A visitor. This is a joyous occasion indeed. Oh, forgive my manners. I believe introductions are in order. We are the Artisan Troop. Our members have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of art, music, culture, and all the other things which makes existence bearable to a sapient being. Please, if you would like to share in the wonder of our creations, do not hesitate to contact us. Interesting. So we're going to have to talk to them about boosting our monthly Unity output. Speaking of that, we are 20 months away from another tradition. We have finished shield capacitor research. I might look into putting that on some ships soon. I think I'm going to go ahead and research Physics Lab 2 so that we can start cranking up our physics research a little higher. Throne of Life is still getting rid of those. We do need to get a mining network set up there, but we don't quite have room for it yet. And we are ready for a Betharian power plant, but again, we need the minerals for it.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Okay, so that's a couple of our new outposts. It says starbase, but in this case, they're outposts. And we can go ahead and give the order soon to get Razalgethi added as well. But we need those minerals. Oh, wow. Aza is actually a pretty nice system to have in our control. And we need to keep expanding because this is a fallen empire. I'm not worried too much about, butting up against their borders. We need to get those systems ASAP. Speaking of systems we need as soon as possible. Rimic. That's the one we've been going for. And I want to try and get Ulkad as well. And we have a lot of expanding still to do here. Let's see if there's a construction ship that can help with that. There is. Well, it's just the one.
Construction complete.
Okay. So we've finished gene tailoring. That is some good news. So I'm going to keep this pause for a moment because we have some stuff to look at, don't we? Naval capacity, probably the best way to go, but that's going to take a while. Biolab 2 first, maybe? We're already researching Physics Lab 2. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me very quickly check our policies and edicts. Anything else I can do with available influence? No, there's not. We have 2,000 energy, which means I can have a quick word with our friends. What am I doing? There we go. With our friends over at the Curator Order. Or we can also talk to the Artisan Troop. We can commission an art piece for 3,000. Never mind, can't do that. We still want to talk to you, dude. We can become their patron for 2,000. There we go. And they get additional opinion of us. Let's go ahead and do that. I think I want the extra unity right now. And then we'll go for the science bonus as soon as we can manage it. Can I do a Betharian power plant? Yes, I can. Do it. All right. That's right. We're going to keep things paused because I said that we were going to look at the Oronathi's gene modding situation. So let's create a template. And I want to remove the leader experience gain trait first and foremost. Let's create this template. We want to apply it to everyone. And this is going to take not that long. It's only going to take 80 months. I mean, that's a long time. But I mean, these projects initially can take over 100 months. So that's kind of nice. So that's over 5 years that it would take to finish this. What am I working on in society right now? Biolab 2? Maybe wait until that's done before we go through with that project. Seems like a good idea. We do have a science ship on the way to check out this Hive asteroid. Let's double check and make sure they still have that order going. They do. I could technically build a new one, but this one will be there. It'll be there. It's not going anywhere. All right, let's run of life. Yeah, you can upgrade there, and we do need some additional minerals coming in from there. Oh, there's 2 Betharian spots. Very good. So my energy income is about to get a lot better. Non-aggression pact? Oh, okay, you changed your mind. Of course you did. All right, so we're going to wait until this project is done to where we're generating more society research. Yeah, I know. I'm quite aware of the fact that it failed. I let it fail, because we aren't going to look at it just yet. However, we are going to build that Betharian power plant. Holy crap, yes we are. Alright, Task Force Marasma. Still needs reinforcement. Still building some of the larger ships. I'll let some minerals build up so that we can do that. Now that we've got...
survey complete.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I want to make sure we get these systems above all else as well.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Elgate Insight 2. That is probably... Oh, man. Holy mother of God. That's more expensive than I thought. I'm going to go ahead and go for Engineering Facility 2 here as well. Just go all in on those upgrades. Through hard work and experience, scientist Pendim Den Aramik has developed new skills. Now has the Roamer trait. Oh, that's good news. That's faster survey speed for a ship that is actually on survey duty right now. So, yay. And there was much rejoicing. So yeah, I want to do this planetary capital upgrade, but we really do need... Somebody said in the comments a few days ago, take a shot every time Hadrian says, I need to build more ships, and then blows it on buildings. I know. I tend to, I'm always prioritized with the choices that I'm making with buildings. Like, if there's a really good opportunity, but, there's so many good opportunities. It can be, focusing on building up your army is nothing if you don't have a decent economy behind it, right? So, All right, we're working on the diplomacy tradition tree. Let's go ahead and unlock the ability to form a federation, and let's see if we can actually do anything with that, because we do have some empires which think quite highly of us. But these guys still won't. How ironic. After what happened with Final Federation, our war philosophy allows wars of aggression, therefore these guys hate us. That's the exact opposite problem that we're having in the previous series. You are kidding me. All right, Krithakans, what about you? Invite Federation. They're hegemonic imperialists, so they're less likely to join a federation. But the main thing is that we have vassals, so we want to get stronger than everyone else. I'm not terribly worried about federating, but it would be nice just to have that additional reinforcement against the Oginalaks. Just that extra line of defense, that slightly stronger...
Construction complete.
Between empires. We just feel good, right? All right.
Construction
gonna hold off
complete.
on the
System
large
survey
purchases.
Complete. Construction complete.
Let's see. We have 7 months until the biolab is done. Our construction ships have arrived in Vana, and you're starting to see the effects of those minerals on our income finally. So enjoy that. Also, those 2 Betharian power plants should be done
The
as well.
spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Have they? Ah, yes. Physics Lab 2 is done. Good. Let's see. Better sensors would be nice. Better lasers would also be nice. And that would also unlock more technology. Let's go for that, given that we'll get additional choices from going that route. 4 months, and we will go ahead and
Complete.
use those trade points. Okay. Let's buy some ships. But yeah, if that was an actual drinking game that people played when watching my series, you would all be watching this series drunk. Those of you that drink anyway. I was
The spirits
thoroughly
have
amused
granted us
by that
new
suggestion.
wisdom.
Not recommending that you do it, because that would be hazardous to people's health, given how much I can deviate from my initial plans if something else comes up. But it's all in the name, again, of building a good economy. All right, so we finished that project. We need to keep things paused for a moment, and I'll look at my... Yeah. Max influence from factions. That could stand to be a little bit higher. We would also get the Deep Space Black Site. Ship upkeep would be reduced by 5% if I went for this tech. Let's go ahead and go for better influence from factions, but that's not going to matter because, again, first thing we're going to do is apply this template.
Situation log updated.
Now it's done in 79 months. Now, that being said, let's take a look at our existing... Yeah, see, these are just upgrades for... We actually don't have that many society labs, do we? I guess we don't, so that there wasn't much point waiting for that upgrade then.
Construction
We don't have as many as I thought we did. Damn. Well, we will eventually. A private collector on Old Orin, oh good, has somehow come into ownership of an ancient precursor artifact believed to be Ute in origin. Despite government pressure, the collector has so far been reluctant to part with it. Everyone has a price. It belongs in a museum, so we can use our influence for it, or let the collector keep it. Let's go ahead and use some of our influence since we've built up so much. It belongs in a museum, and we have that artifact. And now, as a result, how we doing? We should be getting close. 5 of 6. We just need one more Ute thing. And we might have an anomaly I haven't researched yet. I'll have to take a look. Okay, it looks like our construction ships in Vana are done. So let's take care of... Yeah, there's definitely an anomaly that I haven't looked at there. What else can I do? Yeah, we've got that mining station there to be built. We actually have a good deal more to build in my territory. The mining stations here would actually be helpful to go ahead and build. Yeah, it's going to take away some of the minerals that I need for my ships. But again, once I've built them, we'll have more minerals per month to get that done. Let's get that research station built. And you're in Razogevi. Yep, let's go ahead and build that. And we might be able to get some colonies started before this episode ends as well. God knows we still have room for them. And we are one system away from Ulkad. So that's another thing we're going to need to do. So I'll give that order. Look at this. Really, really nice income situation. Let me talk to the curators really quickly because we can now pay for a research boost. Gimme, gimme. All right, so that means it's now going to take still 70 months. The research boost doesn't help as much, I don't think.
Construction complete.
With species modification. Much to my disappointment. All right, back to Task Force Marasma. Can't afford to reinforce the fleet. We're going to keep hitting the button until such time as these ships have been built. The cruisers are fairly expensive. We have one more destroyer that needs to be built, and 4 more cruisers. Alright, good. Let's see, what should be... Let's take a look at our expansion planner. That'll be the fastest way to make a decision here. We've got some nice worlds that we need to add. Is Toraville in my territory yet? No, but it will be. What about Pajataron? That also has a... no, not as much of a chance. Gemma 3. How about you? Nope. Suhiri 2? Nope. No, I don't want to colonize it yet. I just want to look at it. Mudstrom. So, Mudstrom is the largest world. Not necessarily the closest. That we could go ahead and colonize. It is... Ooh, it has high-quality minerals, but it does have lower habitability. We could colonize it, though, and we could terraform it later, or we could terraform it now, before we colonize it. I don't think it's necessary to wait. I think I'd prefer to go ahead and get it done. God, look at how cheap the frickin'... Why is that so cheap, though? Hang on a minute. I know our ruler has a bonus to that. Why is that so cheap? Okay, I'm just not going to worry about it. That's ridiculously cheap. But let's go ahead and go from... I guess Old Orin would be okay. It's not that far. It's one of our closest worlds. So... Yeah, I could just pop you down there. Well, not really any... I don't want to put it down on the larger energy tile, but that's one of the best of the ones available because it'll boost all 3 of those energy tiles. Yeah, that'll make up for it. And the energy will... I think the energy will still boost, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that if you put a colony center on top of an energy tile, you still get the energy boost. I think, unless they changed that in a recent patch. That could be old Stellaris knowledge acting up. Let's go for those research stations. All right, Ulkad has been expanded into, which is great news because that has a wormhole in it. Now let's actually take a quick look at the anomaly tracker here to answer the question of... Yeah, we have a dimensional disturbance. But we still are investigating the Hive asteroid with this guy, so let's wait until this is done.
Special project complete.
Nice. 2,000 society research. If that helps with the modification project, oh, that's going to be nice. I don't know that it will, but we're about to find out, because right now we're at 1457 of 8,400. Our science team has finished exploring the massive network of tunnels and chambers running through the Hive asteroid in the Vana system. No live specimens of the spaceborne creatures that attacked us were encountered, but the specimens did find the remains of some kind of birthing chamber. This has given us a great deal of insight into the life cycle of these entities, further expanding our understanding of galactic biology. So again, right now we're at 1457. If I hit excellent. Okay, looks like that got piled into society research, so once we're done, that's actually really good, because given that... Hang on, we do need to go ahead and research that. Given that we are spending so much time... Okay, hang on. We're spending so much time on the dimensional disturbance, or not dimensional disturbance, but the, this thing. The species modification. Genetic modification to remove that one bad trait and get our leader experience gain up a little bit higher to where we don't have to compensate for it anymore. That's, taking up a lot of time on our research. 2,000 stored research when our base rate is 5. That will really help speed us up for a good while. So that's really good news in terms of catching up on society research that we lose out on while we're looking at that project. That's good timing. Greetings, Ornathi. As you no doubt know, we Hadadeshi are dedicated to the study and conservation of all forms of life in the galaxy. We have studied your species and determined that the divine Ornathi hierarchy is unlikely to last for more than a few centuries at best. Screw you. To ensure the continuation of the Ornathi species, should the worst befall your empire, we would like to acquire a part of your population for our endangered species preserve. We will construct a special reservation that perfectly mirrors the natural habitat of your species, and its population will be well taken care of and protected from all harm, so you need not worry on their behalf. So what do you say? Will you contribute to our preserve and safeguard the future of your species? So this is always a bit of a creepy thing to do, but it really does help to have these guys on your side. And in this particular playthrough, I'm not a xenophobe. I'm actually a xenophile. I'm not particularly opposed to it. We'll get a surrendered our population negative happiness modifier for 10 years. So that's going to reduce our income in some ways that you'll notice immediately as soon as I click this button. But I'm not going to worry about that too much. I think that's a good choice to make. Okay, they're offering the Ministry of Culture building, which gives us better unity, production, and governing ethics attraction, but we can nowhere near afford it right now, unfortunately. So we're going to have to hold off on that. What else can we do here, though? We do need to get more...
The spirits have
go ahead and do
granted
the
us
research
new
stations.
wisdom.
Good. Engineering Facility 2 is done, so I can upgrade any engineering facilities that could help with that research. Let's go ahead and go for the railgun research because, again, like the X-ray laser, that's going to give us additional tech. But I am going to keep saving minerals for a bit. Let's go ahead and reinforce the fleet. Looks like that's a destroyer, so our final destroyer will be built, and then we just need 3 more cruisers. And we're fully built up. Also, we're at the end of this episode, aren't we? I know, I hear you. You're like, no, we're not. Why would we be at the end, Hadrian? The last one was 44 minutes. Keep going. I know, but in this particular case, I'm recording this episode after it should have aired. Shame on me. I am testing some stuff for the return of the Civilization 6 content in the noon slot, and I got a little carried away after I did my Subnautica recording for the day, since I'm back from Memorial Day. So doing same-day recording can always lead to these kinds of hazards where episodes come out a little bit late. So let's see, Map the Stars. Let's go ahead and renew Map the Stars. And I will go ahead and stop this episode here. In the next one, we are definitely going to finish building up Task Force Marasma. And then we will have some stations to build up as well. I mean, we have a lot. I can go ahead and give the order for another cruiser. But we have a lot that we can add with our existing stations, and we have room for additional stations as well, including, at long last, remember the Haban system needs to be upgraded. I'm going to go ahead and give this, well, I don't have the resources for it right now, but I will very soon. We have a very nice mineral income. And once we have the resources for it, we will be able to mine, we'll be able to put a nebula mine here, basically. That's why we wanted the Haban system, and we got it. So then it's just a matter of locking down our borders here. I would love to get the Rhizor system because that's a really good border system with these guys, and it establishes a single entry point into this part of our territory. Same with the Haban system that I was just talking about. And over here, we of course have Brune Singularity. So we have some defenses to build up in coming episodes to ensure that our situation remains positive. We also need to get those systems before pirates take them over, which is probably going to happen, I imagine, in the next episode. By the way, I know, of course, that we did have pirates earlier in the series. I completely forgot, and I mentioned in the past few episodes, it's really weird that we don't have pirates or haven't had pirates. Well, of course we had pirates. It just got dealt with very, very quickly. So quickly, in fact, that I forgot they had happened. So anyway, it was even in an episode title, as one commenter pointed out, which was funny to me. We're like, oh, yeah, we totally had pirates. I should have remembered that. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, except for this one. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.